Well, good morning all. This is Patricia and I am traveling for history. Wanted to share with you today this PayPal problem and how to avoid it. So back in about 2000, I started to sell on eBay. Now, back then, when someone bought something from you, they could send a check, a personal check, and I mean a paper copy of a check. So they would fill it out, they mail it to the seller. Seller would receive it, take it to their financial institution and deposit it, and then wait for the check to clear. Then after it cleared, the seller would contact the buyer to say, "Hey, it cleared, I'm going to ship your item." A long drawn out process. People could also send cash in the mail. Side story about that. My business partner had listed something on eBay to sell. Now, back then I had co-owned a secondhand toy store here in Burlington, and one of the best ways to bring in toys was to go to garage sales. So I was at a garage sale, vintage toys, and vintage for back then, this toy was very likely from the 60s. Box was definitely damaged, but this was a kit, a model, like a model car, but this was a spaceship kit. And the pieces were still attached, so you had to still twist them off to get to them. And the stickers were still shiny and flat on their sheets. I thought it was pretty nifty, and it was a kit, so you could try it. Not only that, but it was 10 cents. It was 10 cents, and why not try it? 10 cents is not a bad cost to eat. So my business partner listed it on eBay and sold it for, now mind you, this is 24 years later, and I'm still giddy with this. She sold that model for $800. Yeah, I paid 10 cents. That's an awesome return on investment. But the thing is, the buyer sent via priority mail, in a priority mail box, $800 cash. A bit mind-boggling for that. Not even a return receipt, no signature required, just here you go. So you could do that back then. Now in 2002, eBay purchased PayPal. And it wasn't long after PayPal was there that credit cards were accepted and e-checks. Now, mind you, with an e-check, you still have to wait for it to clear, but all those other steps are null and void. And the cash option went away. So when PayPal came into existence, I signed up for an account. There was only one kind of account. There was no business or personal. It was just PayPal. So I signed up for this account and sold a variety of things over the years on there. And never a problem that I can recall. Let's fast forward to nowadays. So I have a website, and I do have a store on the website that I'm still working on. So I decided that, yes, I certainly wanted to use PayPal because, as I said, I never had an issue with them in the past. So, of course, I'm going to use a system that works so well. And admittedly, I use PayPal to pay for things because I don't necessarily want to put my information yet again onto another website, potentially to be stolen with a data breach. So I decided to sign up for PayPal under my business name of Traveling for History. Makes sense, right? Logical? Yes. So I tried to, I filled out all the stuff, and then I was trying to add my financial institution's information. It never, ever comes up in the list of banks and stuff. Never. So I typed it in, and it wouldn't go anywhere. So I thought, well, it was kind of late at night, 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning when I was doing this. So I thought, well, I'll just come back to it. Well, admittedly, I totally forgot about it. And 6 months later, I went to do it again, and it wouldn't let me enter the information at all. There was no explanation for it, nothing. They didn't say why. They just said that there was a problem. Okay. I didn't have time to deal with it in that moment because I thought it would be a quick thing. I mean, these things are typically pretty fast, right? Do you have any issues with that? If you have issues, I want to know it in the comments below. So again, it was a few more months before I went back to it because, just didn't think of it. Now, I did receive some calls that said they were from PayPal, but I never answered them because no, it could be anyone. But then I actually read the message on my phone, and it said there was a problem with my account and to call them. So I called them, and they had put a hold on my account. Now understand that I couldn't attach my financial institution to PayPal, but I had the account. So I had already listed PayPal as the place to, if you're going to give me money for something, for instance, that would be the place to give it. And I had money in my account, $13.25. I know that doesn't sound like a lot. It's a lot to me, though. And besides that, it's my money. It's not PayPal's. They're just holding it for me. Well, here's the problem. That they don't tell you anywhere. I should mention as a side note again that I taught computer skills for 8.5 years. Computer basics, how to sign up for an email account and stuff like that. And I'd always tell my people who are beginners, adults who are beginners, and I'd always tell them, you really must read the terms and conditions because you're held to them. And what's great about what's good sometimes about the terms and conditions for corporations is sometimes you get the chance to opt out of arbitration, which is never in your favor. It's never in our favor. Never, ever, never, never, ever, ever in our favor. So you have to read through a mountain or 10 of itty-bitty, teeny-weeny print that's blah, 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 legalese. They want to bore you to tears so that you don't see the opt-out portion, for instance. But I would always give the rundown, the gist of it to them. The corporation is saying, it's all about us, not about you. We don't care about you. Don't sign up. We don't care. But if you do sign up, this is what we're going to hold you to in a court of law, and we're going to win every single time because you're not going to read it. So I did read all that stuff, all that blah, 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 boring stuff. And I have to say, there are no instructions, first of all. And the terms and conditions are, not in my favor. So nothing on there on this, what the problem was. Since I already have a PayPal account, which is now considered a personal account, not a business one, I used it, again, when I opened to use on eBay, which I was selling things to make money on. But when it came time for them to divide between personal and business, they put me under personal. So and I used the checking account from my financial institution. Isn't that how you use your checking account? Money that comes in and goes out? My savings account, I put money there and hopefully it gets to stay there. Wishful thinking, but theoretically. But I don't use that for transactions like that. I don't pay bills out of my savings account. I pay bills out of my checking account. So I wanted to use that same account for my business account. You can't do that on PayPal. Huge problem. Huge problem. If you try to use it, if you try to sign up with a PayPal business account, for instance, and you want to use the same checking account, not only will they not let you do that, they will freeze your money. I had read someplace, and I can't vouch for this. I don't recall seeing it in the terms and conditions, but I had read someplace that PayPal can hold up to $2,000 of our money. Let that sink in. Now, again, I don't know if that's true. I wasn't able to find it, but I did a brief search. But still, they have frozen my account, and it's been about a year and a half, maybe pushing 2 years now, and I can't access my $13.25, and it is my money, not PayPal's. So I was talking to a customer service rep, many very nice and exceptionally helpful, and others, wow, not at all. So I was talking to this one woman who said, well, you call back in about, I think it was 6 months. It was 6 months because that was back in, was that back in December? No, I think it was back in December. So at that point, it was, I guess at that point it was a year and a half. And she said, call back in December, and she gave me the date I should call back because that would be the anniversary date. And she said, ask for the money. She said, the person, the customer service rep you will talk to will have to release a few things, pull down the walls for a few things, but they'll be able to give you your money. Awesome. Yay. I called. I got a person who didn't, she actually left the conversation. There was just air on the other end. She didn't hang up on me. There was just air on the other end. So PayPal still has my $13.25 and whatever interest that would accrue. Now understand, I am one person and $13.25 won't earn much money, will it now? But if they're doing this regularly across all their customer base, and how many millions of people do they have using PayPal? Let's just say 1 million people with $13.25. Let me pull up my calculator for this because I don't have enough bandwidth in the mornings. So let's say it's 1 million people. Oops, one more zero. And let's say it's $10, not $13.25. So that's 10 million right there. What's the interest rates now for banks? Let's just say it's 1%. It's probably higher than that. Percent. Oops. Let me back that up. Times 1%. So that's $100,000 that they make on our money. So you can bet your sweet bippy that whatever interest they are earning on certainly my money and anyone else's where they've done this, that they're not going to give us that money. Now, here's the thing. They told me that there was a way to rectify this. Hope you're sitting down like I am because I don't know why I was floored anymore with these big companies, but I can rectify this if and only if I send them a copy of my bank statement and the front and back of my driver's license. So not just the singular checking account, which quite frankly is none of their business how much money I have in these accounts, is it? No, of course not. They don't need this information. They want this information. And as for my driver's license, why? Why do they need that? I can't remember having produced my driver's license. I've opened a couple of other bank accounts over the last few years, and I don't remember showing my driver's license. But why do they need that? This is an online financial company, which eBay spun off in 2015, so PayPal stands alone as its own company. I was talking to a customer service rep, wonderful, the one who told me when I should call to have PayPal give up my money. And she said that she has a credit card that she had put on PayPal a zillion years ago. It's she doesn't even have the card anymore. It's long ago closed. She said 10 years later, it's still there. She can still see it as still there. So 10 years later, and given data breaches, they just don't need it. And that's the thing, they don't need it, they want it. But why do they want it? So I refuse to give them that. I have told them to steal my money and close the account, but they won't close the account. So my $13.25 just hangs in limbo. I have removed PayPal, that account anyway, from everything. And it's such a shame. So what happens now with my website and PayPal? Clearly I can't use that account because they're not going to get another dime out, another penny out of anything that I would have online. And if I attached my personal PayPal account, I guess I could get into trouble for that they would hold that money too. I have considered trying to open a business account under just my name. At least I now know not to try to attach the same doggone checking account. But why? Why don't they have that in their instructions? Why? There's no asking. I did ask, and the customer service rep essentially shrugged. Nice about it, but essentially shrugged. These people work there and can't even give you an answer. So that's a huge problem I wanted you to know about. I want you to avoid it. So for my website, I just don't have PayPal. I uncoupled it. But other options, there's Amazon Pay. I've used that. It worked great. I've personally used that on other websites, and it has worked great. There's the Cash App. There's there's a variety of other things that I can use. But PayPal is useful. But they don't pay interest on the money anymore. They used to back in the early days. You get a little tiny itty bitty bit of interest on the money in your account. Went by the wayside. So anyway, I wanted you to know about that problem so you don't face the same hassle that I still am. It's my money. I just want my money. Well, apparently that's asking too much. But I'm curious, and please put it in the comments below what problems, if any, you've had with PayPal. And if you've had great experiences, I would really like to read a great experience. I mean, I used to have great experiences with them. And, but boy, this has been a cluster bomb of bleh that I don't want you to experience. Admittedly, I didn't want to experience this either. But the beautiful thing with experience is I get to share it with other people. And it's certainly a behind-the-scenes thing for my channel and website and all that stuff that's Traveling for History. All righty. Well, this is Patricia, and I'm Traveling for History. I hope that you enjoyed today's show. Hope you don't fall into the pitfalls of this stuff. Read the terms and conditions and instructions. And until I see you again, I hope that you have a fabulous rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye now.